a dream. Alright, the basic setup that we'll be bringing on this trip is what's right out here. Got this cam caddy that's gonna kind of be a substitute for some sort of steady cam. It's easier to hold up above. In addition, I might actually tie a little string right here so I can dangle it if need be. That right there is the lens hood, which took forever to find the right one. I still don't know if that's like the one I really want to go with, but there it is. There's a little light. Looks small, but man, it packs a whole lot of light, almost blinding. Gonna need to get some sort of filter for it as well. Solar Restore. This thing was only about a little under $30 offline, and it charges, pumps out USB, and it also has a little light on it as well. Has a little indicator, 20 to 50, and it can only go up to 50% by light, but you can also plug it in and charge it all up to 100%, and that will come in handy. I actually want to get 3 more of those. They're very light. They're about the size of my iPhone that I'm shooting this with, but much lighter. Special order, the only one I could find on the internet as far as battery chargers go, one that will charge via USB and actually will plug into the wall, and cigarette lighter. But these two will be the worst case scenario. I haven't been around an outlet for a while, and I'll be able to charge a battery if need be. This right here, I'll show you what this is in just a moment. There's Chaser right here. It will be on the trip with us. It's the UltraPod. I would go as far as say it's UltraPod, maybe even UltraPod the sequel, which, wait a minute. It is UltraPod 2. It's for a little bit heavier cameras, like the setup we're going to have. This breaks into a pod. As a matter of fact, I'll cut to a scene of that. But nevertheless, it also has this strap right here that allows me to hook up to any sort of small tree or limb pretty steadily with Velcro. And it's not the strongest Velcro in the world, but I've tried it a couple times, and so far it works excellently. Also a very good purchase. Maybe like $17, $18 off of eBay, I believe it was. Rode mic. Other than the camera, this is probably the most expensive thing I purchased right here. I was going to go with the cheaper mic. Kind of last minute, I saw a decent deal on this. Went with it, and everybody I've talked to about it has sang its praises, and that's after I bought it, so I'm quite happy that I actually went with that one instead of the original purchase. Now this one runs on 9 volt, and so I'm going to have a couple 9 volts ready. It's kind of got a couple different settings. Still have to play with a little bit, but from my testing that I've done so far, Rode mic does very well. And here it is. Here's the camera that's going to be going through 2,200 miles with this. This is a Canon Vixia HF M41, and I was suggested by a ringleader of the circus to that's a trail name for another person who shot a documentary about the Appalachian Trail. She suggested carry it in bubble wrap, amongst other things. And this is popping a little bit, but it will be similar to that. Got a wide-angle lens on it currently, which I actually wonder whether or not it's blocking that autofocus little sensor right there underneath it, especially after I put a lens hood on it. But I've tested a little bit. So far, so good. Really light camera, shoots HD. I was afraid of some conversion problems because I'm used to importing on tape. Now this is just media sticks, which I've actually got ordered 6 of them. Boom, 64 megabytes. Or I'm sorry, gigabytes. 64 gigabytes, and that will supply 8 hours and 20 minutes each. So we should have about 50 hours just waiting to go, assuming our battery can supply that. So yeah, we're probably gonna have to have some sort of power strip with us, or a couple different extension cords. But in a minute, I'm gonna set all this stuff up and show you the different versions that we're probably gonna be going with on this trip. A matter of going from this to going to the finished version might take a moment, which is a shame, especially if it's whatever the moment is only lasts for a moment. But gonna have to learn how to break it down and put it all together real fast. So let's see how quickly I can do this. Setup number 1. This is with the cam caddy, and pretty much how it's gonna work right here. Pretty light. I think it's about probably 3 pounds altogether, 3.6, something like that is maybe what I calculated. Setup number 2 right here. Gonna come handy in a lot of situations too. Yeah. That's pretty much setup number 2. If you can imagine, out in the woods and don't have any trees and just kind of have to point it up at us, and that thing weighs only, a couple ounces, so that's setup number 2. I guess there's actually a third setup, fortunately, because of that UltraPod 2, and so I will show it to you in just one momento. Yes, I know there's a trailer and not a branch, however, you get the idea. And that's just, horizontal branch. You can actually do one more thing, which I guess really the 4th purpose is coming up. Let me show it to you. Hold on. And there it is. See this Velcro strap right here? Could have been a tree. Or a trailer out in the middle of the Appalachian Trail. But there it is. And between that, all this stuff we have over here, gonna make this happen. Me, him, and girlfriend inside. And dead tomato plants.